So, we've dove into investing and saving and getting out of debt and things to do with a business, all sorts of things. But we've never really talked about the time value of money, right? And, it's a core principle of finance, right? So let's kind of get into that. We'll start off with what is it? What is the time value of money? Well, it's the concept that a sum of money is worth more right now than the exact same sum will be at a future date due to its earning potential in the interim, right? A sum of money in the hand has greater value than the same sum to be paid in the future. The time value of money is, you might hear this sometimes, referred to as present discounted value, right? So now that we know what it is, let's try to understand it. Let's try to get, we're gonna dive into a little bit, and it's gonna get a little complicated a little bit further on. But hopefully, you guys can stick with me, and you're gonna get some good information out of this. I promise, right? It won't be wasted. So let's start by understanding the time value of money, because investors prefer to receive money today rather than the same amount of money in the future, because a sum of money once invested grows over time, right? You know this. You put your money in the stock market and it averages, you know, 8 to 10% per year, right? You know how this works. So, for example, right, you put X amount of money in the stock market, right, and say it earns 8% that year, and the interest gets added to what you added in the beginning, right? Your principal, and then it earned that's a bigger sum of money earning more interest, right? And that's the power of compounding interest, right? The eighth wonder of the world. Well, if it's not invested, the value of money erodes over time, right? And this is where you hear about inflation and all that stuff, right? Now, if you hide $1,000 in a mattress for 3 years, you're gonna lose the additional money it could have earned over the time if it was invested. You're gonna have even less buying power, right, when you retrieve it because it's reduced in value, right, because of inflation. Let's look at another example. Let's say, okay, so you have an option of receiving $10,000 right now today, or $10,000 2 years from today. Now, despite the equal face value, $10,000 today has more value and utility than it will 2 years from now due to the opportunity cost associated with the delay, right? So, in other words, a payment delayed is an opportunity missed. And we're going to dive into that a little bit more later on, right? We're just going to touch on it for now, right? But let's get to the hard part. The formula for the time value of money, right? So, depending on the exact situation, the formula for the time value of money may change slightly. For example, in the case of annuity or perpetuity payments, the generalized formula has additional or fewer factors. But in general, the fundamental formula takes into account, certain variables, right? So let's go over them. The first one is going to be the future value of money. The next one is the present value of money. The next one is interest rate. And then you have the number of compounding periods per year, and then the number of years, right? So the formula is as follows: the future value of money is equal to the present value of money, right, times, now we're going to put brackets here, right? So 1 plus the interest rate divided by the number of compounding periods per year raised to the value of the number of compounding periods per year times the number of years, right? Okay. I know it's complicated, but I'll have it written out down below so you guys can see what it is, right? So the next thing we're going to talk about is the opportunity cost that we briefly mentioned on earlier, right? So how does the time value of money relate to opportunity costs, right? Opportunity cost is key to the concept of the time value of money. Money can grow only if if it's invested over time and earns a positive return. Money that is not invested loses value over time. We talked about this earlier, inflation. Therefore, a sum of money that is expected to be paid in the future, no matter how confidently it is expected, it's losing value in the meantime. If it's not being invested, it's losing value. Waste it. Just waste it. So, why is the time value of money even important, right? Well, the concept of the time value of money can help guide investment decisions, right? And ultimately, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to take some money, invest it, and make more money. Well, for instance, suppose an investor can choose between two projects, right? Now, project A, and then project B. They are identical, except project A promises a 1 million cash payout in 1 year, whereas project B offers a 1 million cash payout in year 5. The payouts are not equal. The 1 million payout received after 1 year has a higher present value than the 1 million payout after 5. How is this time value of money used in finance? So it would be hard to find a single area of finance where the time value of money does not influence the decision making process. The time value of money is the central concept in discounted cash flow analysis, which is one of the most popular and influential methods for valuing investment opportunities, right, around the world, like everywhere. Now, it is also an integral part of financial planning and risk management activities. Pension fund managers, for instance, they consider the time value of money to ensure that their account holders will receive adequate funds in retirement, making sure that if you're trying to retire in 20 years or 25 years or 30 years, they're trying to make sure that you have enough and that is going to be possible for you, right? So, what do we learn here? What's some takeaways? First off, time value of money means that a sum of money is worth more now than the same sum of money in the future. Second thing, right? This is going to be because money can grow only through investing. An investment delayed is an opportunity lost. The formula for computing the time value of money is, it considers the amount of money, its future value, the amount it can earn, and the time frame with which you have. And then, of course, for savings accounts, the number of compounding periods is an important determinant as well, right? Make sure you have all those parameters if you're going to try and use it to look what the time value of money is going to be for money you're thinking about taking out and using now, receiving now, or do you want to delay that, right? So hopefully you guys enjoy this video. If you did, go ahead, smash that like button. I'd really appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell, get notified. But until I see you guys in the next video, I want y'all to be safe.